Good morning, everyone. Hope this finds everybody doing well. Today is the 17th of September, and this is video number 136. My name is Charlene, and I am one half of the Witchy Stitchers, and I am coming to you with my weekly update. So I will not apologize, but I will tell you straight up that I do have the wash machine going. Had a conundrum with my jacket this morning and needed to get it washed, so you will hear the wash machine. Also, you will hear the beep 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 of construction vehicles. They're doing an overlay project on our street outside. So last time I looked out, I had a distributor truck, a loader, 2 1-tons, and a tandem. So it's just a great big Jeffco party on our street. So I'm telling you now what the noises are. I wanted to do this update. I've got lots to share with you. I can't promise how long this is going to be. I'll try not to ramble on too much. I have lots of, well, not lots, but I have some life update news, both good and bad. The yin and yang of, or as I said yesterday, it's a typical Nusser Monday, because Monday was awful to all 4 of us yesterday. So, but we will survive to live to irritate another day. And of course, instead of Flosstube Itchy Nose, I have Flosstube Itchy Eye. Murphy's Law. All right, today's video is brought to you with my pink cup. Morgan picked this up for me at Hobby Lobby. And I found some Coffee Mate Kahlua and Cream coffee creamer. Non-alcoholic. It's not bad. Not my top 10, but it's not too bad. Yeah, so for sips, you know what I'm drinking. Where are we at for the month? So for the month, as of last night's stitching, I am at 5,040 stitches. And for the year, I am at 88,634. I can't remember if it was last video or video before that I had told you guys that I was pretty sure I was behind. That is a biblical understatement. I got out last year's journals. I think it was the 11th or the 12th. I looked it up. I can't remember for sure. But my progress as of that point, I was over 105,000 stitches for the year. And I ended up finishing off the year with 131 and change. So yeah, this spring really tanked my numbers, which, I mean, life, right? We all have issues, but I'm really slacking this year. So my art ornament progress. And I was actually in Joann's this week. I was looking for some shirt fabric for Preston, a new shirt. Didn't find any. And I forgot to look for the ornaments. I was focused on finding him some shirt fabric. And then we found that the candles were 40% off, and we totally digressed down that aisle and then didn't find shirt fabric and came home with 2 really yummy candles. Strawberry lemonade, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was a sugar cookie one. I don't remember. Anyway, I got one of them burning on the stove now. So, I updated my phone is already buzzing. I updated my notes with my, because I hadn't done it for a few months. With my projects and finishes and deletions and additions and whatnot. And so I got that done this week. And that will go into what I'm going to show you for some plans that I've got ruminating around in my frontal lobe, as Rango would say. I only have one little bit of haul. So as I've shared with you guys before, I watch MamaLovesYou GB. She is a cross stitcher and sampler creator in the UK. I believe she's in the UK. Pretty sure she's in the UK. I'm just not sure where. Yeah. Anyway, digressing. And she had shown what I'm going to show you several months ago. And the person that is selling, she put a link on her page, and the person that is selling them ran out because they were so incredibly popular. Well, 2 weeks ago, it was 2 weeks ago now, she announced that this person had more back in stock. So I immediately stopped the video, went to this person's page, and I bought 2 of these. Morgan, I guess, had not seen them, and I was like, oh no, we have to have these in our life. So I bought 2 of them. I will put the link to this lady's shop. She's called the Button Queen. I'll put a link to her shop when I update the links down below, so you guys can go check her out. She's got some really awesome stuff, and especially as somebody who sews and quilts, her button selection is wow. But this is what I bought them for. So, like I said, I got us 2 of them. So, and as you can see, I mean, they're decent sized. I'd say about 5 or so inches, give or take. So there's this one. And then there's this one. So yeah, I thought those were great. So I'm going to put Morgan's in the mail. I have a package going for her with some stuff that I've finished. So I'm going to put those in the mail to her this week so she can have her button. So, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about before I get into my whips, I want to talk about our Etsy shop. I will put links below for that as well. Last week, well, my last video, there were some issues with the link, and I realized that I had put it in wrong. So for those of you who corrected me, thank you. The shop has several things in it. It has my novels. It has Morgan's zipper pulls, and those can also be used as fobs, you know, like scissor fobs, because I do believe that the of course I don't have one here handy, but the clasp that she uses on the end of them for your tinier scissors, you know, like the stork scissors and those, I do believe that those are big enough if you want to use it for a fob as opposed to a zipper pull. And that is a Morgan question, but I'm pretty sure that they are. I know that the ones that she has made me, well, with the new clasp, they do work well on the smaller scissors. And then I also have a few project bags, and I will show them again here so you guys can see them, and then you can head over and see if you are interested in them. I only have the 3 in there now, but I'm kind of waiting to see what the interest is for them. But we did feel like we had a good response and a good amount of people. Yes, Dobby, I'm talking to the computer. Dobby's telling me stories. Yes. There was a buck and a doe and a fawn out here below the house this morning after I got out of the shower, and she was losing her ever-loving mind because apparently they were going to break into the house and eat all the peanut butter. That's what Dobby is for, is deer control. Yes. So we digress. So the first one is this one. Same back, and then the lining, just a simple zipper. The lining is just a real pretty yellow to complement the yellow here. The next one, I thought this was so cute, is some glittery owls with some candy corn. And this one, the lining is all candy corn. I have another one of these to sew up that I believe it's the same contrast, but the lining is a real shiny black broadcloth. So I didn't have very much of that left. Jinx, be nice to your sister. Animals. And my favorite is Snoopy. And same on the back. Oh my goodness, Jinx. And then contrast here, and then the lining is some pretty cream and red hearts. So, excuse me, those are on the Etsy page. Head over there and check them out. I do have a lot more of this fabric. I don't have any more of this, or maybe I've got enough for one more contrast. I don't have very much of this left, but I have oodles of this Snoopy fabric. So make sure you go over there and check it out and see what interests you. So we will get started on the whips that I've worked on. So as you guys know, oh, and by the way, welcome to our new subscribers. We appreciate you joining us. That was a very pleasant surprise when I got on this morning and I was like, ooh, we have new peoples. Yay! So I am continuing to do my 100-day challenge for the new people. So I have 100 whips. And so every day I've put them into my spin wheel app on my phone. And every day I spin the wheel and I get a new project, and I do at least 100 stitches on each one of those projects. So it's been going really well. Today is day 25, so we are a quarter of the way through my plans. So I'm really happy with that. So let's see what I had last week. I think that I had spent was next door, and I am actually making this one for one of my besties, and I'm hoping to get it done in time for her birthday in January. And I picked out, I don't know what fabric this is. It was gifted to me, but I worked up in the tree. I think that's actually pretty much what I worked on, was the tree, and then, yeah, it was just the tree. And that one gave me, I have to look at my notes, 109 stitches. So I want to give this one some more love, and I'm using all of the called for weeks on this one. Very, very pretty. Sorry, guys. All right, the next one that I worked on, so that one was on the 11th. So on the 12th, I worked on Aquarius. And this one is in a very large project bag. I have another one that I made. This is some leftover fabric. And I think, don't quote me, I think I have enough of this one to make another bag. I think. I'm not sure. I saw some pieces of this in my scrap box, so I'm going to see. But the reason that it is so big is because I have all of my thread kitted up all nice and pretty. And when I started this, I just was working off of the paper pattern. And so this is a Josephine Wall. It must have been Josephine Wall week because I pulled another one of her projects yesterday. So this is another one that is for one of my besties. Her birthday is also in the winter in February, but she's an Aquarius baby. So I mostly worked, it took me almost, probably close to an hour, because Morgan had bought this pattern for me a long time ago. Well, she bought, pardon me, that pattern for me a long time ago. Then she, when Haid had one of their sales, she bought me the PDF, excuse me, so I could put it in Pattern Keeper. And I had not taken all of my progress from my paper copy to my file on Pattern Keeper. Excuse me, so I had to go through and put everything in properly, and I had jumped around so much that I left myself kind of a mess, so it took me a little bit. But as soon as I got that mess finished, I came in and I worked up here in the moon. I filled in some of this, and then where else did I work? I think that was mostly it. And then I came down over here. Essentially, I worked in the moon. So, and this is another one that will fall into those plans that I'm going to talk to you about. I hope my wash machine doesn't go off kilter. Been having trouble with it when I wash jeans lately. I don't really know why. It's just some new thing it's started, which is really frustrating. And that one I put in 122 stitches. So then the next one, and no, it doesn't match, but it made a great bag because it's tall. So this is just a real cute Halloween bag. And again, I use this one because it's tall and this has got a book in it. And then you can tell that I was just making me up some project bags to have for my pretties. I don't know why I yawn when I do videos. I don't understand that. So here is the color palette. And it's small, so I probably won't put it into a holder. And this one is out of Cross Stitch for the Soul, Emma Conglin. I think this is the book that came out during COVID. Can't remember. It's been a while. Morgan got it for me. Anyway, it's her Love All. And I love the colors. I love Emma Condon patterns. So I am not sure who did this piece of fabric. I don't know if this was a me or a Morgan. I'm not sure. But I love all the different colors. And I put in 133 stitches, basically filled in all of this U, and then I came over here and I worked on part of the S. So I realized when I was going through this that I was missing quite a few colors, and I'm kind of picky, which now what I'm going to show you here for my future plans, you'll be like, well, wait a minute, that's not what you said earlier. But I'm kind of picky about making sure that everything is, kitted up when I start it, so I don't have to, go tramping around looking for, threads or whatever. And like I said, I realized that I was missing several colors out of this. Fortunately, I had all of them in my main stash, so it wasn't a big deal, but it's just itchy nose, yawny. I don't get it. Okay, next one that I worked on, this was on the 13th. This is the Imperial Shuttle, and this is another bag that I did. I love Grogu. And then the inside is Star Wars fabric. And I unfortunately do not have any more of this fabric. And then I have the owl. So if you've watched any of the Star Wars shows, you know that there's the porgs, the little bird-like things. Excuse me. And it's not a porg, it's an owl. But, we're going to pretend because it's my bag. And anyway, I have this one on a paper copy I printed out, again, before we got Pattern Keeper, and then Morgan helped me download it to my tablet, so now I can do it that way. This is one that I'm doing for Dalton, and very small color palette, very small. I think there's seven or eight different colors, very small. And my progress is very minimal. Again, this is another full coverage, and I thought something else. It was kind of a full coverage book too, kind of different. Anyway, so I worked, oh shoot, where did I work? I think I worked over in here, and then I think I did this blue. I only did, oh no, I did quite a bit on this one, I guess. I did 318 stitches on this one. Maybe I came down here and worked. I know that I did quite a bit of the black because there's, I think, black and the turquoise because of up in the top of the sky or space, what do we call it, were the two biggest colors. So that was my progress on that one. Hold on, please. Sorry, guys. It did go off kilter. I've decided that that machine just doesn't like me. So, where were we at? We just finished Imperial Shuttle. I have two of these. I also have the Star Wars dogfight. Dalton picked out both of them. And then I have a couple others. I think I have a Boba Fett and I can't remember what the fourth one is. But here in the near future, obviously, you'll see the Star Wars, the dogfight one too. That goes along with that one. I think I'm further along on that one. I think. Don't quote me on that one. Okay, so next thing, which I thought this was kind of funny. So you guys know that I made the thatched cottage, my 12-month project. Well, it came up for a spin to be worked on my 100-day challenge. So I'll show you that one. It's in this book. And I am in love with this pattern. And I'm working on another pattern out of here. So I decided to just put both of them in this bag that I made. And it works really well. It's big enough so I can keep both of them together and I can just leave it setting in there by where I work on my end table. It works out really well. So I put in, because I spun it and had time to do it, I put in 296 stitches, and I mostly worked in what will be October's challenge. It did carry over into a little bit of November's, which, I mean, again, who cares, because it all needs to be done, right? So I basically worked from the bottom up. So finished filling in a bunch of this. Still missing a few stitches right in here. Worked in quite a bit of the yellow. Came down here. Oh, and I worked in the white down here and then up in here. And then I think this gray, took it across some more. Oh, and then there was some green, just onesies and twosies. There was some green in here that I worked on. I think I actually had like 2 or 3 stitches of it down here. So I did that and then I came up and then I worked that little bit in the tree. Hold please. Allergies, they're a thing. So that's where I got to on that. So that'll just be that much less that I have to work on in November and December, October and November, which I'm really glad, because then it won't take up as much time for, working on Christmas projects or whatever. So, yeah. All right, so then next up was my dog lessons, which I thought was really funny because I was just telling you guys, I think last week, about my Lizzie Kay project. I had to chuckle. So this is my dog lessons, and I want to get the cat lessons eventually too. I'm using all the called for colors, and I don't think I know what this fabric is. I know that it was a 1, 2, 3 purchase. I do know that, but I'm not sure what it is. So I gave him a face or kind of a face. He's got an eye and a nose and an ear and a collar because it was driving me nuts. And I realized that I missed this little plumb bob on the top of the fire hydrant, which is the same color. So I stitched that and then I came over and worked on him. And then I did from the A over, and it gave me 114 stitches. So, like I was telling Preston, you don't realize how many stitches are in words until you start working on them, and then it's like, Holy cow, there's a bunch of stitches in, 2 or 3 words. I always laugh. Okay, and the last one that I worked on, this was actually yesterday's stitch. This is another one of my very large bags, appropriate with astrological stuff. And then this is one of Morgan's zipper pulls that is actually the Aries. And she made me another one for a project that I'm working on in honor of my dad. My dad was a Virgo, and so she made me a Virgo one for that bag. So this is another Josephine Wall. And again, I've got, and I did not realize, so yesterday when I picked it up to work on it, I realized that there was a huge handful of unbobbinated threads in this bag. I remember picking them up, but I thought that I'd got them all bobbinated. So I took time yesterday, watched some Flosstube. I took time and I finished bobbinating them up. I'm still missing 2 colors, but they're on my Shopee list when I go out. And I started this. This is on 14 count, so this is going to be a monster. It's going to be 32 by 40 when it's done. It's going to be huge. But I've tried 20 and 25 count. I've actually, in 22 count, I actually have a couple projects on those, and they're fine. I just don't enjoy them as much. So I either buy I buy the minis. This one's not available in a mini, and I'm not going to restart it, especially after yesterday when I realized that I had not put this one into Pattern Keeper either. Put it in, and I had 3,047 stitches in it. I'm not going to restart this thing. I will continue with my very large quilt-sized piece of fabric and just have a humongous piece of art on my wall if I ever get it finished. So I am talking about Josephine Wall's Aries, and this one got 137 stitches. I was kind of done with it after fighting to get it all into Pattern Keeper yesterday. The redeeming factor was I mean, it's pretty explanatory where I've worked and how much I've done on my paper copy. And it's one of the colors that I'm missing, of course, are those 2 holes, no, maybe 3 holes right there. I finally got all the rest of it filled in, and then I went ahead and I came across some more. I am worried about the lines, so I need to do better about that, because I don't want the individual lines on there like you see on some projects. So anyway, that's where I got to. And again, this is going to be one of those that I'm going to talk about in a minute about in my plans about this new idea. You can see this. Yeah, I don't even have to show you. You guys get it. We're stitchers. We can do math. 32 by 40. I was talking to Preston about it last night, and he goes, "Where are we going to hang that?" Those are for future Preston and Charlene conundrums. Those are not for current day Preston and Charlene conundrums. And he just chuckled and rolled his eyes. He gets me. He gets me better than anybody. So I have to make sure and tuck my zipper pulls in because Luna loves to chew on my zipper pulls. He's a brat. Today's spin is Emerald, which is a Carolyn Manning. It's the only Carolyn Manning that I have going. No, that's not true. I have Arctic Gloss going too. I also have Diamond, which is my birthstone, but I haven't started it yet. I want to finish one or the other of those before I start it. So I'm working on the big one. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that I started this one for Preston, and then got all the way across and I realized that I am 9 stitches short over here. So I am going to go ahead and finish it to here, and then I was going to put the fabric on it and I was going to make, you know, it work, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to finish it and I'm going to make it into a project bag to use to carry whatever the current project is that I'm working on for him. And I've got plenty that I'm in the progress of making him. I think that'll be okay. So when I come back to you next week, I will show you how far I got on that one today. So that was my whips for the week. We are 30 minutes in. I'm sorry, not sorry, this is such a long video, but I'm going to talk about my plans now. So moving forward, I have a quilt that we got basted this weekend. So I'm going to get it quilted so I can get it in the mail on Thursday. Preston has the pickup all week. There's no sense in me keeping it and wasting extra gas and whatnot. I don't need a vehicle during the day. I can walk to the post office. I can walk to, if you know, something happens, I can walk down to the filling station down the street. I don't need a vehicle. And I do my walks first thing in the morning, like before 7 o'clock, before the traffic gets bad and whatnot. So I don't need a vehicle. So that being said, I only get to the post office because by the time he gets home, the post office is closed. So my mail dates are Friday and Saturday, but it will be Thursday this week because we need to make a trip up to Fort Collins, which will come into life updates. I will explain to you why. So I need to finish her bag. Finish my friend's quilt and get it in the mail for her birthday. I need to get some more bags made for the shop, so keep an eye out. I post them on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page. So make sure you go over and like those pages so you can keep up on new additions to the page. Moving forward, I'm going to continue doing the 100-day challenge. Like I said, we're a quarter of the way there. So still have 75 projects to show you guys. So it's been kind of fun. It's been fun to be able to show everybody and for me to, you know, get that visual of exactly how much is left, and the reality is setting in of, and a perfect example is the Aries. The Aries is 252,000 and change stitches. I am 52 years old. There's a lot of X's left to make in these 100 projects. And it feels, it's starting to feel very daunting and very overwhelming. And I guess that, I don't know what you would call me, what is it, progress, or I think for me it's a matter of I want things finished. I don't want to just, you know, be stitching on things. I want to have things, you know, up on my walls. You know, you guys get it. That's where I want to be with my stitching. And besides the fact I don't want to leave my kids with a bunch of unfinished crap. And I know that Morgan is a huge stitcher and she would take all this very happily, but there's a lot of this stuff that is not her aesthetic. And I don't feel that that's fair to put that burden on either one of the kids. So I need to do better. So that being said, Morgan and I are planning a start for the first day of fall. So what I'm going to do, I have a project, and I forgot to grab it, but I have a project that is, like it should be done. There's no reason for it not to be done. I'm going to get it finished this week, and so on Sunday, pretty sure it's Sunday, we're going to start a fall project together. This piece is by, I believe it's Yuliani Babinko. She is a designer with Hade. And we actually purchased 2 or 3 of her patterns. But we got the mini of this one. Oh, I hope you guys can see it. See that little white dog right there? So those of you who've been with me for a while, you remember me telling you the story about Dusty and riding my bicycle and stuff and on my horse, and that's where the bicycle or the cycling bear comes in at. Well, this one is just a fall one with this red-haired little girl, which, believe it or not, I used to be a redhead until I turned very, very gray. So anyway, we're going to start her on Monday. No, or excuse me, Sunday. No, I do not have her kitted up, but you start over here in this corner, and the majority of those stitches are black, and I do have quite a bit of black. So I can at least get it started, and then I'll finish getting it kitted up in the fall. But that way I'm staying with my 100 whips. And then I have this other project finished, so I can utilize it the season that it's for. And I will show that to you guys next week, because I don't want to start this one until I have that other one done. The other thing that I have decided to do is that, so, and this is where my reports come in. I have 22 full coverage pieces. After I start this one, I will have 23. So what my thought process is that I am going to put all of them, so here's a list of them. I am going to put them all into a wheel. And I was doing the 30 minutes a day stitching, and I was really, really enjoying it, but I was getting bored with the project that I was working on. And I think that was my problem, is that by working on the same thing and I only had, I think, 3 or 4 colors, I got bored and I wasn't enjoying it. So I decided that I'm going to put all of these into a wheel, and because there are 23 now, I will spin the 1st and the 15th of each month. And so essentially each one of them will get 15 days, and then the last one that's on the list will end up getting a full month, whichever one that would be. And so that being said, I'm going to be able to make some progress on my full coverages, because as you can see, I have a few that have got a lot, and I have a few that are like so Jinx, be nice to your sister. She's growling at Dobby again. So that is going to start October 1st. And like I said, I'm just going to put them into a wheel and let the wheel do its thing and work on them for 15 days and then spin and see where I can get on some of these. So at least, you know, I mean, like Aries, according to my Facebook post on my personal page, I hadn't touched Aries since 21. Yes, I'm talking. Do you want to come say hi? Do you want to say hi to the peoples? Oh my goodness, no? Hi. Can you, no, you don't want to stay? Oh, okay, I'm putting you down. Hates to be held, loves to be petted. Torty through and through. There is a level of crazy there. Preston and I have said since we got her, she's literally half in and half out. Like there's no, yeah. Okay, so now that I've went over all my plans and all that, I will do a quick life update because we're at 40 minutes. I'll start out with the bad news. Yesterday, Dalton was riding from, so he got a bike specifically for this class because he has a class over here and the next class is here. He has 11 minutes to get to that class, and it is literally across the campus. And he could walk it, but I mean, he'd be beat feeting it. And so he was like, I'm just going to get a bike. And okay, no problem. Get him a bike, got him a helmet. He did not want it. He was like, you didn't wear a helmet. And I'm like, yeah, I got terminal brain damage, I'm sure, because horses and bikes just, you know. Anyway, he was riding down the path and a kid came. So he was going this way, the kid was going this way, and he was on one of those, the kid was on one of those motorized bikes. Wasn't paying attention. Dalton really wasn't paying attention. They were both at fault. And they collided. And Dalton landed on his knee, his hip, and then on his, basically, back like this. Head is fine. His hip and his knee, they're biting this morning. He's hurting, which of course made me completely upset because I was in the process of calling him to tell him my really great news, and that's when he was telling me about this. And I was just, as a mom, and I'm only an hour and a half, 2 hours away, it's just the general idea. And he was so funny. He goes, "Mom, I took worse hits than this in football." And I'm like, "Yes, but I was there. I was with you when you took those hits in football." And he had some bad ones. You know, he had a couple concussions. Like, it's a real thing. But I was there, and I'm not there now. And that was what was hard for me. So anyway, but his bike, so it completely, as he put it, it completely shattered it. So the braking unit, I'm assuming it was on this side because that's, well, it might have been on this side because this has been the side that went down. Anyway, the entire braking unit on one side completely shattered apart, like chunks of it. And then it knocked the chain off of the gears. So there's a brake shop on campus. He was able to take it to the brake shop. They were able to put the chain back on and get that all fixed up, but they did not have the braking unit. So he's only got one set of brakes. And so he, the gentleman there at the shop told him that there's another bike shop on the other end of town, which is obviously he can't get to it, that should be able to repair it or get him a new one. Worst case scenario, we have to get him a new bike. The redeeming factor is that because bike theft is rampant up there, well, at any college, but we know that it's an issue. Like before you get set up for your mail, they tell you to register your bike with the PD because it's so bad up there. So it's a thing. Anyway, worst case scenario, we have to go and get him a new one. Like I said, it was a Walmart cheapie, so he's out $100, which sucks, but he's okay. I talked to him this morning when he got up. I was actually walking out the door to go, the girls and I to go on our walkies, when he texted me and he's like, "Good morning." And so I called him and he said he's hurting, but he's okay. My dad used to always say the third day's the worst. So by the time we get up there on Thursday, and of course he can't get to he can't, because the store, he rides his bike to the store, gets his, a few groceries and whatnot he needs and whatnot. And so Thursday we're going to go up, take his bike to the bike shop, see what they can do to fix it, and then take him and get him, groceries for a few weeks and whatnot. So we hadn't planned on going up until later, but now with this, it's and we had loosely planned on going up and having supper / late lunch with him because we're meeting some friends of ours in Boulder, but we weren't planning on this. So, but he's fine. He's burgered up. He'll be okay. He's tough. He's my boy, and I'm not there. As far as my other news, what I was calling to tell him about, so in October, if you've been with us for a while, in October I released my third book, and I had a book signing over in Conifer. I got a phone call from the lady that owns the bookstore over there that my book has been chosen for the book club book read for November. And she, not only does she need some new books, but she wants to know if I will be a guest speaker at the book club meeting. So I'm very happy, very excited. So that was my exciting news, and I feel like it was just news after talking to him, because I don't know, it's your kids, you worry. So, found out that Preston is going to be on night shift for the first part of the winter for snow shift, which we were pretty sure he was. Last year he was on nights all winter long, which I mean, we just got used to the schedule. We were kind of thinking that that was what was going to be this year, but it was a change of plans. So we'll see what January brings now. Not going to hold my breath, but we'll see. I think that's pretty much more. The girls and I are back to our walkies, which is really nice because I have missed it, and I know they have too. Yesterday I didn't even put them on their leashes. Because they're very well trained. They mind me very well. They come back when I whistle at them and whatnot. But we did learn that there are 2 new dogs on that end of the subdivision that are not friendly. They're pretty aggressive. And so just to not have any issues at all, I just went ahead and leashed them up, and that way there was no concerns. So worked out good. I think, trying to look around here and see, I don't think I had any other news. That was pretty much the big stuff. So if you stayed with me this long, thank you. And again, please go check out our Etsy shop. Hopefully there's something there that interests you. And I will post the links to the Button Queen and to the Flosstubers that I've watched this week. I haven't watched very many because I have been really busy, but I watched Sarah, Carolyn, I think her name is Michelle, the MamaLovesYou GB. I'm pretty sure it's Michelle. And then Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. She was a school teacher, I believe. She's back in, I want to say Pennsylvania. But she's also a quilter. So she's got some really cool stuff. And she's doing Project Bex too. And then of course I watched Janet. Those are the only ones that I've got to this week. I haven't watched my other usuals. I just haven't had time. Time has not been my friend this week. So, but I have went on enough, and I have irritated you for almost 50 minutes. So I will let you go, get back to your stitching and your next Flosstuber. And again, we appreciate you guys coming to visit us so much. It's great to have the viewers, and remember, Morgan does videos too. She's out in Kansas, but you guys are welcome to check out both of us. We do have some things in common with our stitching, but we do stitch differently, so you can see 2 different sides of stitching and whatnot. And yeah, so make sure you check out Morgan's videos too. So, all right, I've went on enough. Have a wonderful day. Remember to be safe and take care of each other, and just remember to be kind. Have a great day, guys. Bye.